Being a parent, we already know is really hard, especially in the society that we live in. You know, all three of us grew up in different eras of parenting, but it was probably very similar. Where, you know, it was the, you know, you do as I say almost type of parenting. And it worked for the most part. You know, it worked. You know, our parents gave us instruction, and most of the time they gave that instruction one time.
Yeah.
You know, and there was no repeating of instructions. There was no warning. The warning was that first instruction, and then you just kind of knew, if I don't follow it, something's gonna follow me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But what do you ladies believe is the toughest thing about parenting in today? In today's time, we're in a very different time, and what do you ladies believe is the toughest part? And Dr. Shaw, I'll let you go first.
You know, that's so interesting that you said, you know, the time in which we grew up was very different.
Yeah.
We had moms at home.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just going to go to the heart of it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest thing that I think is challenges is a lack of moral values
Yes.
being taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is not just a result that parents don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
It is difficult to do it because lots of families are single family homes.
Absolutely.
Working 2 and 3 jobs.
Absolutely.
And they don't get time to be in work or to church and do anything. So how do they have time to teach morals?
Absolutely.
We blame a lot of the children today that are misbehaving, acting out, not knowing the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
But it's because that foundation isn't there.
Absolutely.
Back there, we used to have Big Mama, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Big Mama.
We had Big Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or auntie or somebody.
Auntie or
You know, somebody
Today,
who had their eyes on you.
Don't talk to my kid.
That's
That's
it.
the attitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to me, that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest challenge in parenting,
Yep.
and that's missing.
Yeah, kind of that village aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Allowing
Yes.
people to engage in your child's life, to hold your child accountable.
Yeah.
And that is something that you know is kind of a whole nother thing in itself. You know, parents being willing to trust other people to help rear and guide my child, you know. And really it has a lot to do too with a lot of people just have different perspectives on life, to where you almost can't trust a lot of people, because they're willing to allow their kids to do something that you might not allow your kids to do in their home. You know, my wife and I, we tell our kids all the time, like, I don't care what they do at their house. If we don't do it in our house, if you go over there, that don't mean you get to do it.
Right.
See,
You know what I mean?
You're better than
Yeah.
me, because even with my grandkids, no, they got to come to our house.
Yeah.
I don't trust you going there because I don't know what's happening
Absolutely.
in somebody else's
Absolutely.
house.
Right.
Absolutely.
But here, I can control.
No, you're right. Kay, what can I call you Kay on the show? I call you Kay at home.
That's
or do
fine.
I need to call you Kenitra?
No, you can call me.
Okay, Kay. So what do you feel like is the toughest part today in being a parent?
Yeah, I really love what you said, because that was I have like a list of things that I believe are make this tough, but that's one of the foundational, you know, lack of community. But in addition to that, something you alluded to earlier, Lawrence, is that there's no manual, right? And so what you naturally do, or I've done, won't say everybody does it, is that you try to do or mirror what worked for you when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Right.
But that world doesn't exist anymore.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of what exists today shapes you having to parent differently. Social media, access to information about everything without having to go to the encyclopedia or to the library or reading a book. And so the ability to kind of control that and ensure that the moral compass that you're laying down in your children becomes tough, you have to be very intentional.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
so in as much as it's tough, it can be done, but you have to be intentional. And I think too, finding your tribe of parents, whether they be older, same, and there are even some that's younger that need you, that you're getting together with to learn from, like, because you know, another person recently told me about another social media platform that I didn't know existed.
And what is that? Because I need to catch up. What is
so our daughter's in college, and there was a social media platform called Fizz, where you're able to be on Fizz anonymously and post all of these things, so nobody can track who you are. And so I called her and said, "Hey, have you heard of Fizz?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you on it?" She's like, no, ma'am, but people are on there because they're talking about this. They're, doing rush and all of that stuff at her school. And so people were talking about it. And I was thinking, if somebody asks you to get on it, don't get on it.
Absolutely.
Because I need to now educate myself on what's up with Fizz. How is this going to impact them later? And so tough part is the world is ever changing.
Oh, yeah.
And the ability to parent your child for where they are, the age they are, in this ever changing world is very tough.
Man,
and it's about being present.
Yes,
it really
and being
is.
knowledgeable.
It really
exactly.
is.
Exactly.
And something that you with that, Dr. Shaw, and my wife and I can attest this because our kids are involved in so many different things. In athletics, our daughter was involved in dance. And so having the busy schedules. Even thinking about the small things where when we grew up, I don't know about y'all, but when I grew up, we sat at the dinner table to eat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's where conversations happen. That's where the check-ins happen. That's where the accountability kind of took place. And, that's something even I know my wife and I, we have to ensure that we're intentional on that. We're having those moments with our kids. We're not just getting lost in the schedules of, hey, we got to get you to football practice. We got to get you to baseball practice. We got to get you to training. We have to get you to tutoring. We have all these different things where kids literally have a schedule. My wife and I literally have to, get our Google calendars together to make sure, hey, Lawrence has to go to this today. Kaysen has this today, where they're more busy than we are. And then sometimes parents, we can get so caught up in it that we forget about the moments to impart. We forget about the moments to educate, the moments to even just help develop them mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.